Thank you for tuning in. In this video, we're going to do a Roblox investor update for September of 2022. So let's jump right in. If you're not aware, Roblox is the metaverse pioneer. It's a fast growing business that thrived during the pandemic, during the initial stages of the pandemic, I should say, and now it's facing headwinds. And the headwinds continued for Roblox in August. It noted that daily active users were reached 59.9 million, which was up 24% year over year. And now you're going to look at these figures and you're going to see that they're mostly up year over year, and you're going to ask why is that a headwind? And I'm going to tell you it's because the growth is slowing down. It's not that the growth is in one case the growth is negative, but in most cases it's that the growth is slowing down. And so daily active users 59.9 million. It's one area where it was solid. Um, Hours engaged for 4.7 billion, which was up 18% year over year. Now remember, Roblox is free to join and use. So it makes money by selling premium items. And out of, in the last update, December of 2021, they less than a million of their users were actually depositing money. So even though they have over 50 million daily active users, less than a million of them are monetized. Now they're trying to change that. They're going to try to develop some advertising in the next few quarters, but for now they're only monetizing when they sell premium items that requires Robux to purchase. So engagement is good, but ultimately what investors want to see is increased in bookings. And so that's the next line item there. Estimated bookings were between 233 and 237 million, which was up 5 to 7% year over year. That's one of the slowest growth rates it's experienced in any month dating back in the last 2 or 3 years. The average bookings per daily active user, so now if you take into account that it added so many million users, but the estimated bookings only went up by 5%. So when you get the average per daily active user, that was actually down 14 to 16% year over year. So that's decreasing. Each individual user on average is depositing less money onto the platform. So that's a troubling sign, and one of the reasons why I noted that headwinds are continuing for Roblox in August. The estimated revenue came in between 208 and 211 million in August, which was up about 22 to 24% year over year. So now that we have the August update, let's compare that to the update they gave us for July. And in July, they had an estimated 58 and a half million daily active users, which was about 26% higher year over year. They added 1.4 million in August, which is good, but the growth rate was 24%, as you could see, versus the 26% growth in July. So the growth rate is decelerating, even though the overall figure is still rising. Engagement was 4.7 billion hours in July, which stayed the same in August, but that was a decrease in the growth rate. Again, in July, the year over year growth rate was 25%. In August, the hours engaged growth rate was 18% year over year. Again, deceleration. Estimated bookings was up 5 to 7% in August. Estimated bookings was up 8 to 10% in July. So from being up 8 to 10%, it was now up 5 to 7%. So another sign of deceleration. And then let's look at estimated average booking per daily active user, which was down 14 to 16% in August. This figure, average booking per daily active user, which is the ABPDAU figure I note here, was down 14% to 12% year over year in July. And the losses accelerated, so it kept going in the wrong direction. So nearly every item here for Roblox between July and August got worse. So if the item was growing, if the key metric was growing, that growth rate decelerated. If it was declining, that decrease accelerated. So this is not what you would like to see as an investor. These metrics are not going in the right direction. Now, to be fair, this is to be expected, right? Roblox is a metaverse platform, uh, offers games and communication things like that on your electronic devices. This was extremely popular when we were in lockdown and when away from home activities there was a lot more closures. Now that economies have reopened, schools have reopened, there's more things that we can do with our time and money, and so we're spending less time at home and we're spending more time away from home, so that's to be expected. Still, that's a risk for investors in Roblox because we don't know how long and how severe these decelerations, these headwinds are going to be. All we could do is keep monitoring and looking at these trends and seeing them decreasing and falling, and we have to hope that at some point they will turn around. Now, earlier this year, management had forecasted that these decreases were going to flatten out over the summer this year and start to turn around. So now we're approaching that time when management had forecasted these headwinds to sort of level off and start to turn around again. So that's something we can keep an eye out for to see if management reiterates those claims or if they say, you know what, we it's worse than we thought, and they need to make an updated forecast and say, you know what, things are going to be worse for much longer. So certainly risks are elevated for Roblox investors. This is something to keep an eye out for. The August update was not a positive one for investors. The next thing to keep an eye out for, the next big strategic change, is the company is developing advertising on the platform so that way they can monetize more than just a small fraction of those users on the platform. So that's the next big thing for investors to keep an eye out for. Anyways, thanks for tuning into this installment, and I'll see you next time. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for all investors of all skill sets and risk levels. So I'm proud to partner with the Motley Fool to bring you 10 stock picks from their popular product, Stock Advisor. Stock Advisor has beaten the market by more than 3 times. Go to fool.com/parkev to get your 10 stock picks now.